So you integrated a lot of biblical stuff, particularly from Genesis, particularly from the Garden of Eden in your book. Why?
Right. You know, when I thought about it, and actually the book discusses this crude phenomenon of the S test, which is a very crude term, and which is a very popular term in the pickup artist community. And I kind of wanted to infuse some holiness into that field. And when I thought about the book, I thought about the topic of the ways women test men, it just so completely dawned on me and made sense that the Garden of Eden was the first shit test ever conducted. Oops, excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
And that was the original sin, was basically Eve giving Adam this test of his affection, you know? This test of where she stands with him, of here you go, here's an apple, you know, or whatever the fruit was, and seeing how much she could manipulate him, or seeing if he'll stand up for himself, or seeing if she can just control him. You know, I've obviously go into it in more depth into the book, but his completely succumbing to this test by not offering any protest or any reason or any controlled response, and just being like, okay, honey, for whatever reason that was, and eating the apple and going against his values and going against his standards, that's what caused the fall of man. So it completely made sense to me. And you know, I think a lot in my work, is very much filled with dichotomies of like taking this secular lifestyle and these secular values and, like, you know, in this case, a certain profane term, and just melding it with my yeshivish kind of good girl background. I think like it's a hallmark of a lot of my work. And my existence too.
Right. Is premarital sex immoral?
I don't think it's immoral. I don't think I don't think it's immoral, but I don't think it depends on a certain situation. It always serves a relationship, and I think a lot of women get hurt by it. And I don't know about men so much, but
why do women get hurt by premarital sex?
Well, you know, they don't get hurt by it when it's in the context of a loving relationship.
Yeah.
But if it's not in the context of a loving relationship, and the guy's not committing to her, and maybe she uses sex to get the guy to commit to her, or she uses sex to get his approval, or she's not fully ready and he pressures her, I think it can be difficult for women to get hurt by it and feel used or feel taken advantage of. So that's why I think not necessarily premarital sex, but the best way to go is sex in the context of a loving relationship.
Is sex without love immoral?
It's not. I don't believe it's immoral. You know, unless, like, I mean, lying is immoral. So if there's lying involved, and you're lying to a woman to get her to bed, the lying is what's immoral. But the act, in my opinion, of having sex, casual sex, is not immoral. It's not, like, bad. It's not contributing to the corruption of humanity. Is it wise? I don't know. That's debatable. Is it wise for some women? But it's not wrong. Otherwise, I'm like going straight to hell. You know? I mean, this is one of those subjective areas, in my opinion.
How would you feel about guys who read your book and use it to sleep with more women?
Well, like
sleep with them without love.
Like I said, and I had this moment in my book where I said, if a woman knows that a man just wants to sleep with her, and that's all he wants, and he makes it clear, gives her great sex, doesn't make her feel bad about it, doesn't make her feel used or slutty, lets her feel safe in embracing her sexuality and giving her that awesome orgasm?
You can say anything.
Okay, orgasm? Yeah. She'll be very happy and grateful, and she, you know, and it's not about if he wants to sleep with her, it's about how he sleeps with her and how he presents himself in sleeping with her. I mean, I'm not for a guy who sleeps with a woman and then never calls her and just really uses her. But if there's even communication that this is a one-night stand or a two-night stand or a three-night stand, and we're going to make each other feel good and enjoy this and not give each other guilt and not give each other sorrow, then I think that's totally okay. I wouldn't condemn a man, because women also make their choices as well, you know. But the problem is when men manipulate that choice. I mean, we still, as women, bear that responsibility of, you know.
A lot of guys fear calling women after sex because then they'll have to talk to her.
Yeah, and that's why you have women who've learned that and don't expect it.
Then usually they'll expect feelings to be a part of the conversation. And that's very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, it's difficult for us to talk about our feelings.
Right.
Particularly with women we've just had sex with. I mean, other men are like this.
Yeah, right. I don't think most women, unless she's really inexperienced, my sense, they expect the phone call just that you know she knows you're thinking about her, and you still respect her, and you didn't use her. And I don't think they're expecting that feelings conversation, like I said, unless she's inexperienced and thinks, oh my God, he had sex with me and he loves me, you know? A lot of women, and also, yeah, female hormones after sex, like, you know, kind of go a little crazy and long for this connection with the guy. But I think that's where men have to manch up, become more menches, take that manly quality and kind of bite it, and to respect the woman, give a call, you know, a check-in. Had a great time. I hope to see you again. But this is why it's also important that the context is clear to begin with, but it's very difficult for men to have that conversation. And I think it's more manly for a man to say, I think you're awesomely attractive. I want to have sex with you and have a great time with you. I don't see this going anywhere seriously because of where I'm at, but I would love to have that fun time with you. And he's clear. She'll take the risk because she might fall for him. But I think that's more manly than just inviting a girl over and like giving her wine and just trying to cuddle with her and giving her a massage and like getting into it and just leading her to sex without that conversation. Women do that. I mean, women will take that risk as well. And like you see in Sex and the City, they know what to expect. So I don't think women have to be so like coddled, but this is just an expectation for human relationships in general. Just be upfront with everything. But I think it takes a lot of guts for a man to say that. But they think women don't want to hear it, and I think women would be refreshed by it. And they're trying to be a mensch and not coming across as direct and sensual. They essentially become assholes, you know?
Do you think most women can have sex without love and be okay with that decision afterwards?
It depends on the women. I mean, I know women who can, and they see it as a fun activity.
Do you really think they're being authentic to their femininity when they tell you, Orit, this was a fun activity? I know there's totally no love in it. It was just a fun activity.
I think it's rare. I think it's rare, but yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Do you think there's
if they liked
broken?
the guy,
there's something broken with those women? They will say, Orit, this is a fun activity.
Yeah.
And he gave me 3 orgasms, and there's no emotional feelings.
Women have needs. Women get horny. Women, especially in this day and age, you know, they're career focused. A lot of them don't want relationships, and they can use a man as much as, you know, a man can use a woman. I think it's rare, more rare. I don't know what's the correct grammar to that.
It's rare.
Rare. I think it's rarer, but I think it's possible, and it could be if they continue on that path. Just like if a man continues on that path, but more so a woman, they could be denying themselves intimacy. You know, they could be denying themselves, and there could be a block that's occurring for them to really feel that relationship, that sex and relationship with the man. So as a phase, I think it's possible. It's something long term. I mean, ask Samantha from Sex and the City. You know, she, I guess, never wanted to. She just loved sex, and she loved it, and it was great fun. And she's after chasing orgasms, but then again, that's fiction.
Representative of
that's fiction.
Women?
No, she's like maybe 5 percentile. You know, but I don't know. You worked in the porn industry. I mean, there are prostitutes. Are prostitutes denying themselves their femininity? You know, are porn stars denying themselves their femininity? I don't know.
What do you think?
Know?